Hi, it's John. It's time for your start of week motivation on this glorious September day. Two things I'm going to talk about today with you. I'm going to talk about perfection, and I'm going to talk about exercise and the importance there. I think the first thing I want to talk about is perfection, because I went to a wedding on Saturday night and I was very drunk, as you do, and had a bit of bread and whatever. And I think it's that, you're trying to be, it's not the singular that makes the mistake here, it's the cumulative. And what I mean by that is that some people, the diet industry, lets us think sometimes that one night or one day spoils it. It doesn't, not even a weekend. I mean, that was a cheap weekend for me. I mean, literally was. I mean, yesterday I was done, DVDs, custard, popcorn, the whole works. But today I'm back in control, in the gym, diet's back on track. I feel a bit because, as you're getting older, your body starts to reject things it doesn't like, especially when you don't do it that much. So, first thing is that you're just giving yourself a break a little bit sometimes about that singular activity, and rather than the cumulative. Because I think for the problems that we've got with diet nowadays is fizzy drinks, a lot of bread, a lot of sweets, and these energy drinks and have all these chemicals in. These are proving the problems, I think, a lot of times with diet, because people are doing this day to day. It's not the singular, it's the cumulative. So if you've had a bad day, bad weekend, it's okay as long as you don't turn into a bad week, bad month, bad year, bad life. I mean, literally, I believe you can have a bad week and it's okay as long as you don't let that turn into a bad month. As long as you stop the behaviour and then start to change again, I think it's absolutely fine, because you're not designed to be perfect, because no one is. There's no such thing as perfection, just progress. So always bear that in mind. It was particularly important when you go out and have a drink, or fall off the wagon on your diet, or whatever it might be, because you know that as long as you're working towards something as the greater good, it's okay. Second thing I want to talk about is exercise. Now, you might have noticed I've recently launched a remote personal training service which sounds a bit odd really, remote personal training, but actually when you think about it, a lot of people struggle because they can't afford a trainer because it's expensive. They don't want to go to a gym, or don't want to commit to a membership at a gym. So they sort of struggle in between. Now, what I thought about was, well, if I do a workout that's a couple of minutes, really quick, really effective, and gets people in the habit of being active every day, is that as good as spending an hour in the gym? And I think it is, because I believe that for most people that just want to be healthy, I'm not talking about performing and running half marathons and lifting heavy weights, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking for most people that want to be healthy. You don't need to do a great deal, just day-to-day disciplines. So a lot of people think, well, I'm this much overweight, so I need to do this much exercise to do it. So they think, well, I've got to exercise 6-7 hours a week because I'm this much overweight. Well, that's because you're putting the focus on the exercise rather than the habit and the diet. So the habit and the diet comes first, the exercise comes second, in my opinion, because people try and go and exercise. I saw a girl running this morning, fair play to her, big props. It was 7 o'clock in the morning, quite a large lady, and you could see she was really struggling with it, and fair play to her for being out. I nearly stopped and sort of, said, well done. But you could see it was a real struggle. So, and that's not a judgmental thing, that's why do you need to make it that difficult when you could literally do a short burst every day, get yourself in the habit of being active, work hard, focusing on your diet and your habits, and then the rest falls into place. So the first point I wanted to make today was about perfection. The second point I wanted to make is, don't get stressed that you haven't done 3 to 5 hours of exercise this week, because what if you can't? What if you commit to saying, I'm going to do 5 hours this week, and then you can't? You're going to get stressed because you feel you couldn't do it. So rather than say that, why don't you say, I'm going to do 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day, and get that nailed and ticked off in your brain, so then you've got some sort of reward going on, so you feel happy and you feel like content that you've achieved a goal, rather than setting a too big goal and missing it. It's not the point really for me. It's about getting these day-to-day disciplines in place. So firstly, accepting that you're never going to be perfect. I don't expect you to be. I've got my little indiscretions. I'm not perfect. I don't expect you to be. And the second side of it is, don't try and do too much. Do what's manageable first. So start with the possible. There's a classic quote which is, start with the possible, paraphrasing, but start with the possible, and then you'll soon be able to do the impossible. So when I tell my story about, well, I'm going to go down from two slices of bread for my breakfast with my cereal, 2 slices of toast with my cereal, to none, that 9 years later led to a marathon. So you can see, but it started with a very small decision. And I keep saying this because this is really important. So if you can only fit in 10 minutes of exercise a day, if it's intense enough and you feel worked out, great, do that. And if you need any help and support, get in touch. Remote Personal Training's live. I've just took on somebody in Norfolk, and I've just took on somebody in Yorkshire, so the message is getting out there. So 1, progress not perfection. 2, don't worry if you can only do a small amount. Something's better than nothing. So a 10-minute workout is better than a 0-minute workout, or 2 good meals out of 3 is better than no good meals out of 3, or 1 day without biscuits is better. Do you know what I mean? Just focus on the small, keep focusing on the small, and don't worry that you can't do an hour in the gym every day, because that's not going to get you the results. If you're overweight, it's going to be diet and habits first with exercise second. It's going to be challenging, it shouldn't be excruciating, okay? Have a good day.